Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here with a very much requested kitting up video for my new cross-stitch conversion project. When I unboxed this kit with you guys, I asked if you wanted to see a kitting up video, and the response was a definite yes. So I thought, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do this with you guys on camera. And I thought I would also go ahead and just take a minute to let you know about what my process for kitting up a project like this looked like. So this particular project, I did not get the max color version. I got the standard. And so the chart contains a total of 91 colors. Now, if you're converting this to a diamond painting, this has a little bit of an asterisk next to it because you're going to have a set of colors often that are under the number 150. You can ignore my writing for right now. But these colors exist in DMC, like for floss and cross stitch, but not necessarily in diamond form. Like drill manufacturers don't necessarily carry these DMC colors. They just carry like 150 and above. So there are conversion charts out there, like in the Heaven and Earth Designs diamond painting groups and stuff like that, where people have put in like these are the equivalent substitutions for these particular colors. And so for each of these colors, I did note the substitutions and when I ordered them. And for these, at least, if there's a little star next to it, that means that that color already also exists in the kit. So in this case, like the color 33, I converted to 38, 35, and that is already a color that's called for in this kit right here. So I'm gonna have both of those symbols are gonna be the same color, even though they're gonna be two different symbols on the charts. They're gonna go in the same container. And then if there's just a regular dash like this one, DMC1, I converted to 762. There's no 762 otherwise in this kit, and as you can see here. So that's just going to get its own container, and that color is just going to be that one symbol, if that makes sense. So with that in mind, I actually end up with 88 colors instead of 91 because 3 of them are the same as colors already in the kit. And then what I did is I decided to use some of the work that I had done on my older cross-stitch conversion kit, where I had used 2 different trays of Elizabeth Ward containers. And I went through and I counted, I was like, how many of each size container was I able to fit in 2 trays and get all the colors in there? And so I counted those out, and there's a little bit of wiggle room in it. And so I knew how many of each size of container in the Elizabeth Ward system would fit in 2 trays. So I hope you're following along with me here. My brain works a little bit funny sometimes for this kind of thing. I'm a little bit OCD about it, but I'm knowing that, okay, I'm going to be able to fit like 3 of, the large size and 29 of the medium and 21 of the small. Then what I went through and did is I actually took you could take your floss usage chart. I actually used the inventory sheet that came with my diamonds, which I got my diamonds from Evermoment. And I just went through and basically I labeled the ones I started. I was like, okay, how many do I have the most of? Like this color here, I have over 13,000 of that color. This one I have 31,000. That's a lovely 310. So I basically worked backwards and started from, okay, the 3 that I have the very most of, those are going to go into the large containers. And then the next ones that I have the most of will go in the medium. And so this is going to make kitting up go extremely quickly because I not only already know, like, okay, so if there's nothing written next to it, it's in the smallest size. Like, I'm going to go and pull out the number 150 from the bag, and I already know, like, okay, it's going to go in the extra small container. So if you're curious, like, if you're going to work on a cross-stitch conversion project with the standard number of colors, and you like working out of Elizabeth Ward containers, and you want a shortcut for one possible combination of containers that would work in having a total of 2 Elizabeth Ward trays out. It's 3 of the larger size, 29 of the medium size, which is this guy, and then 21 of the small, and 34, 35 of the extra small, which is this guy. A little bit of this will vary because it'll just depend on like how they end up in order in your tray. You might end up with being able to fit more or less depending on that. You can shuffle things around a little bit to try to squeeze some more in there if you want to, but that's going to do the job for me. I already put the containers in order for myself as well. Like I said, just the way my brain works and the ways that I could try to make it a little bit easier on myself. Yeah, that's just how it goes. So what I'm gonna do, because this didn't come with an actual sticker sheet, is I'm gonna just use this because it has the symbol and the color on it. And what I will most likely do is go through and because I can't fit like a huge sticker on there, I'm gonna cut out this part, and then I think on my last kit I went in and I wrote the DMC next to the symbol so that I would just have one small strand right here. I'm gonna cut that out and run it through my sticker maker. Now this is gonna be a little bit of a test for me as well, because my go-to sticker maker is this one, which is the Xyron 150, the X150 I think. I've had it for 2 years, but as of at least a few months ago, they kind of stopped stocking this one. I haven't seen it in stock on Amazon in quite some time. On the website, they keep saying like, oh, estimated in stock 2 months from now, and that date just keeps moving up. So I don't know if they have officially discontinued this particular sticker maker. If they did, it's a real bummer, because it includes an option for a repositionable tape, which is much easier to get off than the permanent tape. I think you can still get this in some hobby stores like Hobby Lobby. I think I saw it available online and some other like online only websites, but I'm super bummed if they've gotten rid of this one, because this one was really cost effective. But we're gonna test out, this is a new one, and my friend Jacqueline had found this one, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. The only downside is that I believe the sticker paper that's in it is permanent. Yeah, it is. It's permanent adhesive. There wasn't an option for the repositionable, so I'll have to get a little bit creative with like how I will remove the adhesive from the containers at the end of the day. But feeding this through at least should be, yeah, I think I'll feed it through insert right there, it says, and that it'll feed out this way. So at least it's got like an option for a really wide sticker here. But this was really, really cost effective. This is actually disposable. So once you've, like you run out of the adhesive roll in this, it says it just pulls apart for recycling. So yeah, we will give this a try and see. I might test it on one of my containers and then see how hard it is to peel off, but maybe this will be a decent replacement for the X. It's certainly more cost effective than some of the like fancier sticker makers out there, but we're gonna give this a try and test this out while I'm kitting up. Now obviously I'm not gonna be able to fit all of the colors like in these trays at one time. That's not really my goal. Like if your goal is to be able to empty all of these bags at once into your storage containers, you're probably going to need a slightly different storage solution. But I am just going to have a reasonable amount in front of me. I'm going to fill up as, much as I can for each of the containers, for each of the colors. And then I just have a little tote that I'm going to store the diamonds in. And then just as I'm working and I start to run low on a color, I'll reach from these and refill. So I do really like that Evermoment doesn't use like the really, really tiny bags. When I sent them my info, as far as like, they ask you to give them exactly how many of each color that you need and not tell them like how many bags of each you need. So I just knew that I was going to need 1,470 of the color 150, and they figured out the most efficient way to do that for the different sizes of bags that they had available. So I like that I don't have to work with a bunch of little really tiny bags, and I'm really crossing my fingers that the quality on these diamonds are going to be good. I'll be taking a look definitely while I'm kitting up. I think that is all that I have as far as kind of on this end what I want to talk about. So I'm going to shift us into time-lapse mode. You guys can watch my process of kitting up and what that looks like, and I'll check in with you guys afterwards. So let's get started. right, you guys, so we are back. It's actually a few days later at this point because this did take quite a bit of time, and I just didn't have the chance to hop on over and film kind of the wrap up for this. So kitting this up did go pretty quickly and smoothly since I knew exactly which container I was going to put each color in. It did fit perfectly. I mean, I had tested this out ahead of time, but it did fit perfectly into these two Elizabeth Ward containers. I will say that I really, really loved that I didn't have to deal with a million tiny baggies. From Evermoment, the way that I had for my last kit, it went so much faster and felt like I had a lot less plastic waste in that way as well. I think I had mentioned at the beginning that I was going to keep these in DMC order because when I am looking at these on Pattern Keeper, it's just easiest because I'm gonna tap on a symbol and it's gonna highlight the symbol in the DMC that I'm looking for. And so by keeping these in DMC order, it just makes it very, very easy for me to then look and find what I'm looking for. You can see there are a couple of spaces where I probably could have fit like an extra container, but I wasn't totally sure how this was all gonna play out exactly in the end. So I'm okay with having a little bit of extra wiggle room, but look at these beautiful colors, lots of greens and browns, and then some of these bright colors as well. So there were a few colors like these that I know that I can go into Pattern Keeper and edit this one so that the symbol matches with 907, but just to make it easy for myself and just kind of as a backup, I did leave, this is that one of those alternate symbols, one of those alternate DMCs that doesn't exist in diamond form, and so this just so happens to be both of these two colors. This one is one that there's only this particular symbol in here, so I went ahead and put it in this order like this, but I'll have to go into Pattern Keeper and actually edit the number that's associated with that symbol so that it's easy to find, if that makes sense. I hope that's making sense, but this worked out really well. I really cannot strongly recommend enough that you do some planning and prep on the front end before you actually start kitting up. I think it can save you a lot of time and headache. If you want to kit up into a more space efficient set of containers, I mean, I could have taken one of these trays that had only these small containers in it. I think that fits 82. I don't know if it was 82 or 88. Or, you know, there's lots of other storage options out there, but I knew that I wanted to work with two Elizabeth Ward trays, and then I could have a variety of containers and not be constantly having to refill the smallest size. So anyway, you guys, I hope that this kitting up video was helpful. I will link to all of the different products that I used below, and of course to things like the chart for this this particular kit, and to Evermoment's shop where I purchased my materials from. Just even when I was kitting up, I had very, very, very little static at all. There were a couple that I did have to tuck dryer sheets into. You could see it just floating around in there. But I don't mind static. I think that that's highly climate dependent anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But I like what I am seeing as far as these diamonds go. There were maybe one or two colors that I was like, these look like these might be a little bit trash prone. I did quickly want to mention, someone brought this up in one of my, my unboxing video. They asked if Evermoment allowed additional drills for like if you if you have drills that aren't usable or something like that. Do they have any margin for error? I need to double and triple check, but I'm pretty sure that what they did is that you give them the number that you need, and they just round up as far as how many bags, like what their sizes of bags available are. I think that there were 1 or 2 or 3 sizes. And so most of the time I feel like you're going to end up with plenty extra because, for example, if they have a bag that, if one of their sizes of bags is 500 diamonds and you needed like 425 and there wasn't, any other size bag that was 425 or greater, you're going to get a bag of 500. So you are getting some with margin for error though, but I'm not sure if I had put in that I needed 498 diamonds in that color, if they still only gave me the bag of 500. So I think that I will double check and I'll update you guys in my next update video on that. But you could also add in a buffer yourself into what you give them. So if you wanted to give yourself a couple extra 100 drills per color, you could just add that to the totals that you're giving to them. But I will look into it for you guys and find out, and I'll let you know in the next video in this series. But that was a really good question. Thank you for the couple of you that did point that out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I should check. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this kitting up video. Let me know if you have any questions. I am hoping to actually go ahead and get started on this very quickly now that I'm gonna have a little gap in between events. I'm filming this here like towards the end of July at this point, but I am very eager to get started on this project and see how it starts to work up. So I hope you guys had fun and are enjoying being along on the ride for this. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. I would be more than happy to help. Thanks for being here. If you're not already subscribed and want to keep following my progress on these projects, feel free to subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you. And also, if you enjoyed this video, would you mind giving it a thumbs up on your way out? That always really, really helps. So have an amazing day, my friends. I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.